It's crazy, isn't it? Like legit crazy. Hell froze over because CM Punk is back in the WWE after almost 10 years. Something we never thought would happen. We thought he was AEW bound and he was going to just go back and be the devil in the, MJF storyline. But no, no, no. He's back in WWE. And a lot of people aren't happy about it. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, it's Mekel Kasanova. I know typically I don't do wrestling content. Occasionally I'll do, some wrestling stuff here and there. I've done that over the years. But if you're wondering if I'm going to do more consistent wrestling content on this channel, yes, I do plan to do one. I also plan to launch a wrestling podcast come next year because there's so much I want to talk about. I'm going to have some of my friends on and a whole lot of stuff, like other podcasting folks that you guys know, like Don Tony and Russell Soup and all those other folks are going to be on it because I'm friends with them in real life. But anyways, we got to talk about it. The thing that happened tonight, the absolute astronomical event. Yes, we had WWE Survivor Series, and that was absolutely crazy. But the thing is, going into this, it was always a question of will they, won't they? Will he, won't they? Will CM Punk show up? Will he not show up? And the thing is, if I was a betting, which typically I am, I should have put money on that and just raked in all that cash. Because the funny thing is, I was talking to my friend Amanda, Power Level Amy gaming chick that you guys know. And we were talking about this for months, that Punk was going to end up in WWE. A lot of folks were saying to us that we're crazy, would never happen. And this is why, because, what he's, his relationship with Triple H and WWE and Vince and, all the things he said in AEW. But a lot of people keep forgetting certain key things that happened. Yes, we had the brawl out. We had all that happen. We also had Punk show up at a WWE taping at the beginning of the year and mend fences with Triple H and with The Miz, and probably also with Vince McMahon too. And the thing is, if you guys forget, the one thing WWE always says, well, two things they always say. One, never say never. Two, what's best for business. And what's best for business right now is having CM Punk. And I know there's all these people that apparently have popped up saying like, oh, CM Punk's a cancer. He's this, he's that. Why would you want him back in? He's a cancer to the locker room. I know Seth Rollins said that earlier in the year.
Midwest boy with ROH roots. We don't know what's going on with CM Punk, but you guys have had some barn burners in WWE. Would you like to see Phil Brooks back in WWE?
Oh, Philly Phil, stay away, you cancer. Get away from me forever.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I don't like Phil. He's a jerk. Oh, did we just figure that out? No, everybody in the room is like, oh no, dude, did he say that? Yeah, no, he's a jerk. Come on, we figured it out over there. We knew it over here. I don't want him back. Go do something else. Bye-bye. Bye.
The funny thing is, I think there was also a work to set up an angle. But anyways, a lot of people may not like CM Punk, and it's crazy. A lot of folks that loved him and all, begged for him to come back. All of a sudden, they're saying that they hate him, and all this other stuff. I've seen it on my Facebook with people I personally know, Instagram, Twitter, all these other social media platforms. It's crazy. But literally, it happened. And the thing that really solidified it for me, and I was telling my friend Amanda about this, but really what solidified it for me that Punk was going to return was the fact that AEW had their Friday show and Saturday show, Rampage and Collision, combined, running head-to-head with WWE Survivor Series. Now, when I found out about that, that to me was like, there is absolutely no way in hell Punk isn't returning. Not to mention all the stuff that's been subtly dropped here and there, like, Corey Graves saying things like best in the world and, Nakamura doing the GTS and, all the other stuff. Plus like, all, the Survivor Series logo having CM Punk's, lightning, but also a lot of the Chicago themed stuff within his banner. There was a lot of that that you could always speculate. Plus things that Punk had said, he had teased months ago after, being fired from AEW, that, he's going to be very busy in November, right? We also knew that his no compete clause was up. What was he going to do? He was going to pop up somewhere. We knew he showed up in TNA or Impact, and he had no interest in showing up on TV there. I mean, he's been on the record multiple times about saying he would never go back to Impact to wrestle or TNA to wrestle. We knew he wasn't going to New Japan. We knew he wasn't going to, I know there's the whole MJF thing of who's the devil, and people wondering if that was, like CM Punk being the devil, but it wasn't. More than likely at this point, I think that's been ruined as to who the devil is. I think we kind of, well, not ruined, it's kind of obvious. It's either going to be Jack Perry or it's Adam Cole. It's one of the two, right? So, with that out of the way, the only thing that was left for you to really think about was AEW stacking the card. Now, if AEW had not have stacked their show against Survivor Series, which is counter programming, if you understand how television programming works, that's how you effectively counter program something. I never would have expected fully, like with 100% certainty, that Punk was going to show up. And then, we had the whole thing with Randy Orton was announced on Monday, which a lot of people were like, oh, why would they just give it away? Why would they just do that? I thought when they announced Randy Orton, okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to announce Randy Orton to make you do a Kansas City shuffle, make you look left while they go right and set everything up. So when you turn back, boom, there's the surprise. I figured by them having, Randy Orton be teased because he didn't show up on Monday. They announced him on Monday. Cody Rhodes announced him as part of Team Cody Rhodes. With him being announced, I was like, okay, with this happening, then what they're going to do, and with him not showing up, if they don't show him on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown, then he's going to show up at the end, or they're going to do some type of bait and switch and have Punk come in. But since Punk doesn't have anything to do with the Judgment Day storyline or even the Bloodline storyline right now, it wouldn't make sense to slot Punk into that, that storyline. It would be best to do similar to what they did last year at Survivor Series when they brought back Bray Wyatt, rest in peace. They brought him in as the surprise and ended the show with it. They literally did that again with CM Punk, because when Randy came in, it was very short. He looked jacked, and I mean, it was great having Randy back. It's crazy, especially for me growing up having watched Randy, before his Legend Killer persona and everything, with Evolution, everything, like how he started to where he is now. It's really hard for me to not see him on TV. It's like, wow, like I know he's close to retiring, and that's the crazy part. Is like he grew up with these folks and they're not there. But the fact of the matter is, when he showed up, he did a little bit, and then they ended the show, right? And then you saw the copyright stamp, and I was like, no, they cannot, because the Chicago, you got to know your audiences, right? The Chicago crowd is crazy for Punk. AEW no longer has a Chicago crowd. After Tony Khan pulled that pussyfoot thing with like, I was afraid for the safety of my life. Yeah, they're done. That's why they don't really do any shows in Chicago anymore. So when I knew that they were going to do, when the crowd was going, CM Punk, and it was completely sold out, you had to have known they had to deliver, because the reaction from the fan base, if Punk didn't show up, would have been nuclear. It had to happen. It absolutely had to happen. And so here's the other thing. With that having happened, right, with they had the watermark or the copyright logo, and then you heard the static, and then the new version of Cult of Personality. For those of y'all who don't know, in Living Color, they basically remastered Cult of Personality this week, which is crazy. So that was another cue. There's a reason they were doing that, because more than likely WWE paid them a lot of money to redo the song or remaster it and to get the rights to the song again. So when we heard the static, and then you saw the Titantron CM Punk, and then you were looking around, I was like, yo, either they're about to do what they did back in 2014 when well, no, not Stephanie, when Paul Heyman did that, and he just like came out to Cult of Personality. I was like, oh, bro, you not want to piss off this fan base. But no, then lo and behold, Phil Brooks, aka CM Punk, the best in the world, walked out to that ring. Well, he walked to the ramp, walked to the crowd. I mean, the roof blew off. It was so astronomical. It was as if, like, you guys remember when Punk returned, when the CM Punk came back after leaving with the WWE title after he beat John Cena back in 2011, right? In Summer of Punk. When he came back, it was bigger than that. And then you also like, there's other stuff too. Like they ended the show in that, and then when they did the press conference, which I watched that, Triple H said it best. If you're the same person you were 10 years ago, then something's wrong. He's like, I changed, I grew, matured, Punk grew and matured, things changed. He was completely transparent about that. And I was like, yo, for you already knew. Triple H is always, for those who don't know, Triple H was instrumental in Bruno coming back, Sting coming over, Goldberg coming back, bringing back Brock, and Ultimate Warrior above all, and so many other people. He is literally about the business. This man cares more about the business than any type of personal hoo-ha, whatever have you, right? So he put over Punk as a human being, despite what the dirt sheets and all these, the people that chatter on social media. He put Punk over. And now I'm at this point, and they left it there. They didn't have Punk at the press conference, because if you watch the press conference, you would see a lot of people were legitimately a lot of those journalists were trying to stir the pot. Shout out to my boy Chris Van Vliet, good friend of mine, friend of the show. Chris Van Vliet was there, didn't stir it, didn't ask any type of controversial questions. A lot of other journalists didn't. But you had the folks who don't like Punk that were asking the questions, trying to stir shit with Triple H, with Cody, and they didn't, they were very diplomatic about it, right? So, especially when they brought up the John Moxley thing. But it was great. It was really good seeing Punk back. If you went on social media, Triple H on Instagram posted him doing the infamous point, him and Punk pointing at each other, and then the caption read, "Hell froze over." Absolutely. Oh my God. Yo, I made a story on Instagram. I said, yo, are we gonna see Punk? Like, if we hear Cult of Personality and it's happening in Chicago Survivor Series, the roof is gonna blow off, and it literally did. I am so happy as a CM Punk fan, you know, as a wrestling fan overall. Wrestling has been great this year, no matter what you're watching. But I gotta say right now, if I'm Cocaine Tony Khan, what am I gonna do? What do you do? You ran your you ran AEW up against, you literally did what Eric Bischoff told you to do years ago. If you want to talk about you outdid them, run it against them, you did and got destroyed. So at this point, I don't know what AEW can do. And I'm not hoping for AEW to go under or anything like that. But and I don't hate the Bucks. I don't hate the Young Bucks in the league. When I was going through cancer, I got to give a lot of credit to Matt and Nick Jackson. When I was going through cancer and was doing my treatment, they actually reached out to me. Like, I tweeted, they reached out to me. We talked back and forth via DMs, and they were really nice to me. So I don't have anything against them personally. I've met Kenny Omega in person, really nice person from what I saw. But, ultimately with everything, I don't know what AEW is going to do now. Yes, they got Will Ospreay. Yes, they got apparently Ronda Rousey over at Ring of Honor, maybe in a one-off. You got Jay White from the Bullet Club. You have literally an alternative product. And I think for them to continue on at this point, especially as we're seeing that the crowds are dwindling so bad. Um, I don't know. I don't know how much longer AEW is going to last, to be honest. And I'm not saying like last isn't going out of business. I mean last is in like before they go the route of what happened with Impact, right? TNA. I think they're closing in on that. But they have all the money of, Tony Khan or Tony Khan's dad, not really himself. But yeah, it's not looking good for them. It's not looking good at all. But Punk's back. I'm happy. Yeah, I got to wear my Aloha built CM Punk style shirt, and I was actually looking for my CM Punk shirts, and I couldn't find them. But this is cool stuff. If you want to pick this up, you can get it on my Teespring. I'm gonna have some new merch, and also there's new CM Punk merch on WWE Shop. But yes, I will letting you guys know there will be a wrestling podcast coming. We got Decked Up, Gaming Attack podcast, got Kasanova podcast for me interviewing people in various industries and celebrities, and now we got this coming along. But I haven't thought of a name, but if you guys can think of anything, shoot some ideas my way. And also, we have a fourth podcast I'm on with my wife called Podcast Across Worlds, where I talk about anime and manga. So, covering the wide gamut. It's a big workload on top of doing YouTube content, reviewing games, reviewing tech, and all that stuff. Just trying to stream on Twitch and make Twitch partner. We got a lot of things we're doing, but 2024, I'm excited for it. I'm excited as a wrestling fan. Man, I teared up seeing Punk back in WWE because I love Punk, love his character. I really resonate with that. But all that being said, why don't you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you're happy about Punk being back, or if you're upset about it, or if you're indifferent towards it, whatever your thoughts are, let's go ahead and talk about it. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, have aloha. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.